In today's news, ICE reports reveals 18 BVI nationals deported since 2019, premiere to lead trade and education mission to Asia. Governor shares areas of improvement in crime prevention. Honorable WALWYN says BVI lacks support for post-secondary development. 150 native trees planted from more than 12 species. The missive of Miss British Virgin Islands, number 2, released. Governor reflects narrative on the island-wide corruption. We have the details of this and much more when 284 News returns.
Just give me my service. Yeah. Just give me my service. Just give me my service.
Make the switch to CCT and get connected today. Unlimited talk, text, and data. Visit any CCT store or call us at 444-4444. CCT, Life Unlimited.
Well, am I covered?
Yeah, you're with CG. Remember when I was dabbling in knife throwing bingo? Well, one night I won, but I also got a bullseye. No. In a beehive. I ran for hours. They caught me in the end, though. Anyway, I was covered, and I got to keep my trophy. Uh-oh.
Best medical cover for the price. CG Insurance. Good like that.
Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of 284 News. It is Wednesday, January 29th, 2025. I'm Ron Grant bringing you the very latest out of Tortola in the beautiful Virgin Islands. A happy Wednesday's wish to each and every one of you. Thank you all so much for joining us. 5 British Virgin Islanders are among the 1.4 million non-citizens in the United States who have received final orders of removal, according to the latest report from the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Our Kamal Haynes has the story.
These 5 British Virgin Islanders are set to be deported back to the territory as part of the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement measures under the administration of U.S. President Donald Trump. ICE's annual report published on December 19, 2024 also revealed that between 2019 and 2024, 18 persons from the BVI were deported back to the territory. The BVI is not alone in the trend. Other Caribbean nations are also seeing nationals targeted for removal, with significant numbers listed in ICE's non-detained docket. Countries such as Cuba with over 42,000, Jamaica with over 5,000, Haiti more than 32,000, and the Dominican Republic with over 12,000 have thousands of individuals facing deportation, while countries such as Guyana with over 1,200, Trinidad and Tobago over 1,100, Bahamas more than 400, and St. Lucia in excess of 200 have hundreds set to be deported. Fewer cases were confirmed for islands and territories like Antigua and Barbados, Bermuda, Dominica, Guadeloupe, Montserrat, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and the Turks and Caicos Islands. The non-detained docket includes individuals who have been issued final removal orders but are not held in detention facilities. Instead, they are required to check in with immigration authorities periodically while awaiting deportation or the resolution of their cases. I cited various reasons why removals may be delayed, including legal appeals, claims for asylum or protection under international law, and lack of cooperation from foreign governments in accepting deportees. Despite these challenges, the U.S. government maintains that all countries must accept the return of their nationals who have been deemed ineligible to remain in the United States. Failure to cooperate with deportation efforts could result in nations being classified as uncooperative or at risk of non-compliance, with potential diplomatic and political consequences. Currently, 15 countries, including Cuba, China, and Venezuela, are classified as uncooperative, while 11 others, including Jamaica and St. Lucia, are considered at risk of non-compliance. While the specific circumstances of the 5 BVI nationals awaiting deportation remain undisclosed, the ICE report highlights the continued impact of U.S. immigration enforcement on the region. The British Virgin Islands government has yet to issue a statement on how it plans to address the return of these individuals to the territory. Reporting for 284 News, I am Kamal Haynes.
The British Virgin Islands is set to strengthen its ties with the Asia-Pacific region as Premier and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Natalia D. Wheatley, recently announced an upcoming diplomatic trade mission to key financial hubs, including Hong Kong, Macau, and Malaysia. During a recent press conference, Premier Wheatley emphasized the importance of the Asia-Pacific market for the BVI's financial services sector, highlighting its role as the territory's largest market.
The Asia-Pacific region continues to be a high-value market for the BVI financial services industry. The region generates significant business for the BVI. We have built some strong relationships there, which we must continue to strengthen. It is also important for us to ensure that we create awareness of our offerings and remind players why the BVI is the best place to do business.
The Premier outlined a post-COVID strategy the BVI's financial services industry adopted in Asia, focusing on diversification in markets, products, and services, along with plans to reinforce ties in established financial hubs.
The BVI's financial services post-COVID strategy in the Asia-Pacific continues to center on achieving greater diversification in markets, products, and services, niche and specialty. Greater diversification and product refinement will allow the Virgin Islands to boost our financial services footprint in Asia as our largest market, expanding into presently underserved and unserved financial services, underserved and unserved countries, where our market presence is not as extensive. Expanded market targets for BVI's financial services include India, Japan, and Southeast Asia. Expanded products focus includes funds, virtual assets, and fintech.
Now, viewers, as part of this strategy, the BVI delegation will meet with top financial and trade officials in Macau and Malaysia to enhance collaboration. In Macau, Premier Wheatley will engage with government officials, and in Macau, Gaming Commission, given Macau's status as the world's top gaming destination. The BVI plays a critical role in Macau's economy, facilitating approximately US $1.4 billion in inward investment. Discussions will focus on reaffirming financial services ties and exploring opportunities to develop the BVI's gaming industry. In Malaysia, meetings are scheduled with the Financial Services Authority and Malaysia's Ministry of Trade and International Investment Authority. Malaysia has become a major financial hub in the Southeast Asia, with the BVI maintaining a very consistent presence in the market for the past 15 years. The delegation aims to secure cooperation agreements that will increase the sale of BVI financial products in the region. Beyond financial services, Premier Wheatley will visit partner universities in Asia that participate in the BVI's Asia Abroad program.
In addition to financial services matters, I will also be visiting the partner universities in the BVI's Asia Abroad program, where 7 Virgin Islanders presently undertake full-time university studies. Persons would recall that in 2021, while I was serving as Minister of Education, I had backed the establishment of the program, and I maintained my support for it when I assumed the role of Premier. Additionally, I will be hosted by the Chancellors of the University of Macau, University of St. Joseph, and Macau University of Tourism Studies to discuss increasing areas of cooperation and greater educational opportunities for Virgin Islanders at their institutions.
With this upcoming visit, the BVI aims to solidify its economic partnership in Asia while fostering new avenues for financial growth and educational advancements. Up next, more local news as we return.
Some claim that the age of a true gentleman is far behind us, but we disagree. He may appear in different guises today, but the values and ideals that make him a gent still stand. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman by yours truly, Ron Grant, presents Season 7. Introducing Travi Rose, Creative Director. Alex Lake, Businessman. Sean Black, Cinematographer. Dakari Wheatley Adams, Content Creator. Donandre Millwood, Educator and Musician. Hashim Dream, Entertainer. James Todman Sr., Contractor. Dr. Albert Tompkins, Psychotherapist. Walter Barrett, Author. Rakim Todman, producer and engineer. Kamal Letson, photographer. Roosevelt Smith III, sales manager and hospitality professional. Leland Abraham, IT technician and cybersecurity analyst. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman Season 7, coming January 29th at 8 p.m. exclusively on 284 Media. Get ready to reason, reflect, and redefine yourself through the stories of real-life heroes. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman Season 7, Raising a Generation of Greatness. Voted Top 35 Gentleman Podcast Worldwide by FeedSpot and BI Icon Award winner.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you all for sticking with us. His Excellency Governor Daniel Prus, in a recent interview on radio talk show program Talking Points, recapped his very first year in the territory as governor. He took time to reflect on progress made.
In this week, it will be exactly a year ago since I stood up and was sworn in as governor. And as I said on that day, for me it was a privilege of my lifetime to have the opportunity to serve in this role, and it certainly felt very much like that every single day in the job since then.
Right.
And a real honour and a privilege to be able to serve the people of the islands. I tried on that day, 29th of Jan last year, to set out 3 priority areas that I was going to commit to focus on during my time in the role. The first was security, and doing everything I could, working with partners across government and beyond, to make the Virgin Islands safe and secure for everyone. Secondly, I was very focused on governance reform.
Yes.
And obviously at the time I was speaking, the COI was very much at the heart of that, and we continue our work on the COI, and I'm pleased that working in a very close collaboration with the government, we've made real progress over the course of the past 12 months. And then my third priority, which continues to grow and expand week by week, is using the office of governor to make a contribution to helping build a better future for the islands as well.
Governor Prus spoke at length on his role in taking time to engage with community members on crime-related matters, specifically the owners and staff at Aladdin's jewelry store who faced a brazen daylight robbery in Road Town in 2024.
Well, I think first and foremost for me, it was important to get out and about and meet those communities that were being directly affected by crime. So I think it was in my first few weeks in the job, we had that very shocking robbery at the Aladdin jewelry store. You'll recall the video at the time. And I sought to visit Aladdin to meet the shop staff that had been through such a traumatic experience, engage with the police, and really try to understand both the ramifications of that incident, both at a personal level for those involved, which was very, very shocking and very traumatic, but also what it meant about the nature of crime and how it was evolving in the islands. So for me, it was important from the get-go really to get there quickly, to meet the people face to face. I went back a second time actually, and also had very striking discussions with people that had seen what happened from neighbouring offices and neighbouring shops. And actually, the experience of witnessing a crime of that nature had a very shocking effect on those people as well. So for me, it brought home very vividly just how wide the implications of a criminal incident can be. Sure. And, strengthened my resolve to do my best in this role.
He also shared a number of areas of improvement in crime prevention.
In terms of some of the things that have been done, which, there's always more to do, but, the steps that we've started to take. So following the Aladdin robbery, in conjunction with the RVIPF, we did increase, visible foot patrols in that part of Road Town to help provide a clear disincentive to anyone that might be thinking in terms of similar criminal activity. Of course, resources are limited, so you have to manage the capability that you have at your disposal to have most effect. So it's never going to mean that we're going to have hundreds of police officers on the streets all the time. You have to judge the moments and the timing. But I think as a consequence of that particular incident, the patrolling schedules became more targeted and I think more effective. And, full credit to the RVIPF for doing that.
Now, with responsibility for national security, Governor Pruce highlighted the role of the National Security Council in meeting with stakeholders now more regularly to discuss crime within the territory.
The National Security Council, which is established by the Constitution as an advisory body to the governor, I think traditionally that tended to meet on an ad hoc basis and often in response to something happening. We've gradually stepped up the regularity of those meetings. We went to monthly, and then last year we went to weekly. So every Wednesday now after Cabinet, the NSC meets. And what that is starting to achieve is a more proactive and strategic approach to crime. So we're not simply reacting to something that's happened. We won't get there in one leap, but we are starting, I hope, to get ahead of these issues as well. And my colleagues in the NSC are, I may say, doing a fantastic job, and we're having very rich discussions around that table. We are now starting to bring in on a regular basis representatives of the law enforcement agencies as well, so we can have a face-to-face conversation with them about how their particular activities are progressing, challenges that they're facing, ways that we as an NSC and I as governor can support them.
6th District Representative, the Honorable Myron V. WALWYN, is advocating once again for the reinstatement of the Virgin Islands Emerging Fellows Grant, saying the Youth Development Program should have never been removed from the Ministry of Education's portfolio. WALWYN, who previously served as the Minister for Education, emphasized the program's role in providing professional development opportunities for promising young Virgin Islanders between 2012 and 2017. He said, and I quote, "The program provided an opportunity for persons for exceptional promise to really get professional training to help hone in their skills." He noted that more than 40 young people who benefited from the initiative are now successful professionals across various industries within the British Virgin Islands. The former minister criticized the current lack of support for young adults, particularly those aged 18 to 29, stating, and I quote, "There's greater concentration, yes, on primary and secondary education, but what happened to those persons who have left school? The grant program previously served as a structured pathway for parents and community members to access public funding supporting youth development. Now, according to WALWYN, its primary objective was developing future territorial leaders. The territory's youth policy defines young people that are of the ages of 15 to 29, but WALWYN contends current programs leave a significant gap in support for post-secondary development. Restorative work of the public picnic area at the Long Bay Beef Island Beach is expected to be completed before the first quarter of 2025, or the end of that first quarter, that is. The works are part of the Operation Restoration Project, which seeks to restore the beach dome, and its collaboration between the Government of the Virgin Islands and a grant funding from Unite BVI. Environmental Officer in the Ministry of Environmental, Natural Resources and Climate Change, Ms. Angela Burnett Penn, said that 150 native trees planted are from more than 12 different species that historically dominated the beach dome. Now, Ms. Burnett Penn added, and I quote, "These native trees are good for protecting the beach dome and aerism, and they provide the best habitat for the attractive and supportive biodiversity, such as birds. Some of the native trees planted are iconic, well-loved species, such as the cedars and sea grapes." Now, Operation Restoration includes additional roadside parking and walk paths to the beachfront, allowing additional easy scenic access points from beachgoers. Picnic benches will also be placed within the shade of the dome, vegetarian, of course, for the public's enjoyment. Ms. Penn said the native trees will also be labeled and other educational signage added to allow the dome to serve as an outdoor living classroom to visitors, students, and the wider public to learn about their functions as well as their importance. Now, the neem tree, of course, introduced from the Indian subcontinent and parts of Southeast Asia, was also removed as it encompasses the native trees and provides limited benefits for the beach environment. Now, neem trees dominated the beach dome, and following the destruction of the natural historic vegetation by the hurricanes of Irma in 2017, that was dealt with. Now, as part of the restoration, the public can look forward, they say, to the planting of additional sea grape trees along the beachfront within the coming weeks. Up next, our final local story and a look at top stories across the region. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
Start the year off with more. More speed, more downloading, more savings, and more fire. CCT Fire Fiber Internet gives you the speed you need to keep the whole family connected. Packages starting at $119 with speeds from 300 megabytes per second. Super fast, unlimited downloads, even more reliable connectivity, plus free live streaming TV for the family to enjoy. Sign up for the absolute best fiber internet service in the BVI CCT Fire and pay no installation fee. Plus, get CCT Live TV for free. You deserve more. Get more with CCT. Life Unlimited.
Yo, everything good there?
Bye. This thing got me one way, daddy.
What you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you, you know?
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know, I watching ball. I've been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hooked, I tell you.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you all for sticking with us. Miss British Virgin Islands 2024-2025, Adacia Adonis, has released the second edition of her official newsletter, offering readers a glimpse into her journey of service, empowerment, and cultural celebration. In this latest issue, Adonis recounts her recent experiences from walking in solidarity at the CIBC Breast Cancer Awareness Walk to championing women's empowerment at the Know Your Worth workshop in observance of Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Now, the newsletter also highlights her admiration for trailblazing, including the Justice named Justice Piera, whom she honored at the Radiant Daughter Youth Brunch, as well as her support for the arts at the Tweet for Excellence Film Festival, where she presented prestigious awards. Literary enrichment also takes center stage as Adonis reflects on her participation in the BVI Literary Arts Festival, sharing its profound discussions and celebrating the power of storytelling. In the spirit of the holiday season, the newsletter details her involvement in charitable initiatives such as the ATU General Trust Holiday Grocery Giveaway, which provided food to over 500 families. And additionally, her Christmas card decoration competition, encouraging young artists across the territory to showcase their festive creativity. The full document is available on tweet4media.com. In response to federal charges against former officials, United States Virgin Islands Governor, the Honorable Albert Bryan Jr., has unveiled a new code of ethics and transparency measures to restore public trust, he says. As reported by the VI Consortium, accusations, that is, of corruption as well as by federal government and local government against former top-ranking public officials have captured the attention of Virgin Islands public officers, residents on the local and international scene for the past few months. While Governor Albert Bryan Jr. presented his State of the Territory address on Monday evening, his former Commissioner of Police, Ray Martinez, former Director of Office of Management and Budget, Jennifer O'Neill, former Commissioner as well of the Department of Sports, Parks and Recreation, Calvert White, former VI Housing Finance Authority Chief Operating Officer Darren Richards, and former Director of Maintenance in the Department of Education Davidson Charlemagne have all prepared to defend a myriad of charges laid against them, now all associated with the corruption practice or another. Now, viewers, the perception that this has created in the public's mind was not lost on Governor Bryan. Take a look.
All our progress, all our hard-fought victories can be undone by the actions or inaction of just a few. This year, our community has been confronted with painful truth as accusations of corruption have shaken both the private and the public sectors, within and beyond our government. As your governor, the reality has weighed very heavily on me. I have pored over policies, scrutinized procedures, reviewed codes of conduct, and examined indictments, searching for the fault lines that allow these things to happen.
While he says the Virgin Islands community has been confronted with painful truths, Governor Bryan ultimately rejected the narrative that he said could not take hold, that the people of the territory are a corrupt collective.
Now, some may seize this moment to paint the entire Brian Roach administration with the brush of corruption. But let me be clear, my concern is not for our reputation alone. My fear is that these accusations will cast a shadow over the character of all Virgin Islanders, whether they serve in public office or across business institutions in daily life. I firmly reject this narrative. We are people of integrity, resilience, and faith, hardworking individuals committed to creating better lives for our families and communities. What defines us should never be limited to the actions of any one group.
In light of the recent criminal charges against former officials, however, Governor Bryan said, and I quote, "Poured over policies, scrutinized procedures, reviewed codes of conduct, and examined the indictments, searching for fault lines that allow these encounters to happen."
In my reflections on this, I've come to a sobering reality. No policy, no procedure, no code of conduct can entirely guard against human weakness. Trust is the foundation of government. And when that trust is violated, it plants a toxic seed of doubt. As your governor, alongside my administration, I am steadfast in my commitment to uproot this mistrust and restore faith in our institutions. Let me say unequivocally, we will have zero tolerance for corruption in any form in this administration.
French authorities have launched an involuntary manslaughter investigation following a plane crash in Dominica that killed 4 French nationals. The Fort de France prosecutor's office accounts on Monday. The 172 aircraft crashed Sunday in mountainous terrain near the southeastern village of La Plaine, shortly after departing from Douglas Charles Airport bound for Martinique. The plane took off at 3:46 p.m. with wreckage later discovered, showing no signs of survivors. The victims include pilot John Benito A., 23, co-pilot Marvin B., 41, and passenger Killian B., 23, and Marcelin M., 25. Full names will be withheld in accordance with the French privacy laws. Now, a specialized team from Paris's Air Transport Division and the airport in La Domaine will investigate potential safety breaches or negligence that may have contributed to this crash. Recovery operations hampered by rugged terrain are scheduled to begin on Tuesday under the direction of specialized teams from Martinique. The investigation will focus on whether violations of safety protocols or prudence requirements played a role in the incident, according to the prosecutor's office in Fort de France. Viewers, that is it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for your daily news updates at Tweet4Media and Tweet4BVI on Instagram and X, formerly Twitter, as well as Facebook. Be sure to follow us for your daily news updates on WhatsApp channel. Of course, we would like to announce that our Season 7 of The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman begins this evening exclusively on all Tweet4Media platforms. Have a beautiful evening. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye. I'm Ron Grant.